Miami Heat shoot 44% from the field, 38% from the three-point line. They have 14 more field goal attempts, 7 less turnovers, 5 more offensive rebounds. The Boston Celtics win by 33 points. Feels good to be good. I'll talk about it and more right here on the Indian Celtic Show. Let's talk Celtic basketball. Hello and welcome along to another episode of the Indian Celtic Show. My name is Mohit Sharma and I am the host of the only podcast you need for the coverage of your Boston Celtics. You can find this podcast on Spotify and right here on YouTube. Make sure to give it a subscribe, hit the like button, hop in the comments section, and let's talk Celtic basketball. It's always a good day when the Celtics beat the Heat. It's an even better day when the Celtics beat the Heat by 33 points. And it's an even better day when the Celtics have their most impressive offensive performance of the season by far. And yes, they were lights out today. The Miami Heat did all that I said in the introduction, but the Celtics, they were unplayable. They had a true shooting percentage of over 80%. They were like 55% from the three-point line, 67% from the two-point line. They were killing it. They could not be stopped. But before I start with all the good things, let me just get one thing that really had me shook in the game. Let me get it out of the way. It was when Porzingis rolled his ankle on Bam Adebayo. Man, I was shook. Like, I was cold. I was hoping it wasn't serious. Kristaps had to be helped to the locker room. He could not walk on his own. But as it turned out, it was only a normal sprained ankle. So all's good. So now we can talk about the good things. And the good things start right with the man I talked about right now. The good things start with Kristaps Porzingis. That guy was unreal today. He had 19 points in all the game that he played. I think it was only not even three quarters. He had 19 points, but it's not only his points, it's his presence. It makes all the difference for the Boston Celtics. Especially in this matchup, you could see he is a major problem now in this matchup for any team, not alone the Miami Heat. Eric Spoelstra tried all types of defenses today. He tried man-on-man, he tried zone, he tried switching. They did not have any answers for Kristaps Porzingis. For every defense, Kristaps Porzingis was there. The Celtics are a whole different animal from last season. It's not that if nothing goes to plan, it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown pulling ISOs. If nothing goes to plan, you have a 7'3" monster right there. And you can just feed him the ball. He can shoot from three, he can shoot in the post. Like, he has taken the Boston Celtics to another level. And when I say the Celtics had their most impressive offensive game of the season, it just doesn't involve Kristaps Porzingis. It involves Jason Tatum, who had 26, Porzingis 19. I think Brown 18, Holiday 17, White 15. Everybody was hitting today. Peyton Pritchard, Luke Cornett, man. So many alley-oops, man. It was crazy. The Miami Heat got owned today, and it was so good to see. It's always good when the Celtics beat the Heat. Yeah, it was a great offensive performance. The defense was on point too. Jrue Holiday was a monster. In the last video, I had complaints that Joe Mazzulla doesn't involve Jrue Holiday enough in the offense, but he sure does involve him a lot in the defense. He has given him the keys to the Celtics defense. And it is Jrue Holiday who controls how the Celtics will play their zone defenses, their man defenses. He has the freedom to call out defensively the plays. He calls the plays defensively. And that was that about the game. Let's talk about the road trip. The last game I covered was the Denver Nuggets lost at home. After that, the Celtics went on the road. And they won 3 straight. They defeated Houston at Houston, Dallas at Dallas, and now Miami at Miami. The most special thing about these 3 games has been on every away arena, there has been chants of "Let's go Celtics." This is absolutely crazy. This means not only do the Celtics fans travel, this means that the Celtics are blowing these teams out. That's giving the Celtics fans that are traveling the opportunity to chant "Let's go Celtics." But it's beautiful to see, man. It's beautiful to be part of Celtic Nation. The fans travel. We definitely have the best fans in the world. It's Let's go Celtics, as Jason Tatum said, in almost half of the arenas they travel to. It's crazy. Love to see that. Shout out to Jason Tatum being named All-Star starter. All-Star starters were announced. Got no complaints. Yeah, I would have loved for Jalen Brunson to start, but it's for another day. And let's finish off the video by sharing some comments on Doc Rivers, hired by the Milwaukee Bucks. The former Boston Celtics championship coach will now be coaching Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard in the Milwaukee Bucks, our rivals, the Milwaukee Bucks. I have some thoughts about Doc Rivers, and I have some thoughts about his reputation, because all I see on the internet is Doc Rivers is the coach that blows 3-1 leads. He's an underperformer. He doesn't go past the second round. All he did was win the 2008 championship. There could be, like, in my opinion, these opinions, these opinions of the other people about Doc Rivers are completely wrong. I've been a Celtics fan. I've seen Doc Rivers. Not only did he win the championship in the first season, he had the big three with Rondo in 2008. He took the 2010 team, which was the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Nobody expected them to win then. It's easy to look back and say, oh, they were the big three. They were supposed to go to the finals. LeBron wasn't ready, this and that. But that year, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the 1st seed. They were supposed to win. Celtics were the 4th seed. They were supposed to be old and done with. It was supposed to be LeBron's time. They kicked LeBron out. They went into the NBA Finals with Rajon Rondo as their best player. Rajon Rondo as their best player, and took Kobe Bryant and the Lakers to Game 7 in LA. So I wouldn't say that's underperforming. The Clippers, come on now. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. You expect them to win the championship. I don't expect them to win the championship. I feel he overachieved with the Clippers too. I mean, come on, the Clippers ain't beating the Golden State Warriors. The Kawhi Leonard Clippers, what are you going to do? Playoff P. We all remember what happened in the bubble. Is it Doc Rivers' fault that Paul George is shooting corner threes at the side of the backboard? It's not his fault. Is it Doc Rivers' fault that Joel Embiid and James Harden decide not to show up in Game 7? And first off, he took them to Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. No one expected the Sixers to win against the Celtics. No one expected them to go 7 games against the Celtics. But they did. Nobody credits Doc for that. They blame Doc for James Harden and Joel Embiid not showing up. This ain't it. Let me tell you about it now. I wasn't afraid of the Milwaukee Bucks, but now that they have Doc Rivers, I'm not afraid, but they're more of a threat. Because I know Doc Rivers is a good coach. Giannis and Dame will listen. Dame has been playing atrocious. Absolutely zero defense. But Doc Rivers, he will listen to Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers will have him playing defense for sure. Giannis will listen to Doc Rivers. They will respect his championship pedigree. And the Bucks are here, I feel now. The Bucks will improve, but we have nothing to worry about. As Joe Mazzulla always says whenever the reporters ask him about other teams, he doesn't care. He's only focused on making the Boston Celtics as big of a monster as he can make them. And the Celtics are becoming a monster. No one was complaining today about all the 3-point shooting the Celtics does, about all the 3-point shooting Joe Mazzulla tells the Celtics to do. And they go in. You see all that. We beat the Heat by 33 points, the defending Eastern Conference champion. Alright, that was it. That was all I had for this podcast. Thank you everybody for listening. And I will be back after the Clippers game. Make sure you stay tuned to the Indian Celtic Show and we keep talking Celtic basketball. Let's go Celtics!